Gail adds some thoughts here from Webster's American Dictionary of the English Language, 1828. Webster's Dictionary. I understand that America was brought up on it. He was a man who trusted God, took his definitions from the King James Bible. So asunder means in a divided state, and portion means to divide. Unlike a standard dictionary, the Bible does not always define words with matching parts of speech. So an adverb, like asunder, assists the reader in understanding the noun portion. However, the matching saying often has identical number of syllables with perfectly parallel sounds to reinforce the parallelism. Ah, yes. So we look at this in this way. A parallel definition occurs at exactly the same syllable. So we look at and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion. You see? And shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion. Matches. Amazing, isn't it? Definitely amazing. See if you can say those lines matching syllable space for syllable. You've got 7 syllables here. And shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion. I remember I used to count them out on my fingers as I said it. Broke the line up. Alright, example number 6. In this case, our mystery word is steadfast. So let's define this word using the King James Bible to define it. After all, it's a word that occurs in the King James Bible, so we are going to use the King James Bible to define it. Well, step 1. We're going to read the immediate context of our verse. It's Hebrews 3:14. For we are made partakers of Christ if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end. So what does steadfast mean? So we move to step 2. We're going to mark the matching words and letters around our mystery word, steadfast. So we find if we hold the beginning of our confidence unto the end. So we can mark all those. Step 3. Now we're going to look for the parallelism for the pegs or the umbrella phrases. Now in order to find them, we're going to actually have to go back into the beginning of the chapter quite a long way. Because if you look around the immediate verses, you won't find any of these words repeated. But in Hebrews chapter 3 verse 6, we find if we hold repeated, we find maybe that's part of it. We find confidence repeated. We find unto the end repeated. So back in Hebrews 3:6, we have a few repeated words and phrases. So we can see by the parallel verses and phrases that the word steadfast means to hold fast, to hold firm, or to hold, because of the relationship between Hebrews 3:6 and Hebrews 3:14. So we understand that the word steadfast means to hold fast, to hold firm, or to hold, and it's clearly seen as you look at these two verses. In fact, we have echoed letter sounds reinforcing this. Sometimes echoed letter sounds are used to bring out parallels. So we have the repeated letters in hold fast and hope firm to reinforce the parallel meaning of fast and firm. The repeated word of indicates that hope means confidence. And so we can see, looking at these two verses, how they are parallel, and how that steadfast means to hold firm, and that hope and confidence are related. The meanings become clear as we look at the verses. Example 7. The King James Bible not only defines difficult words, it automatically expands the vocabulary of children as they read. It does this in the background. That's why children can start reading Genesis and work their way through to Revelation, and their understanding can just automatically grow. So we're going to define the word unbelief. Step 1. Read the immediate context. We're looking at Hebrews 3:18-19. And to whom sware he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believed not? So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief. Step 2. Underline matching words and letters. Now I'm sort of underlining the words around our mystery word, but I'm also looking for the words, repeated words, and underlining them at this point, like I did last time in the last example. We see should not enter into his rest, but really the common letters here are would not enter in, could not enter in because of unbelief, so the matching letters are would not enter in. So we're not actually using whole words here, we're using parts of words that form a repetition. Now for step 3. To find the parallelism, we see should not enter into his rest, believed not, could not enter in because of unbelief. So the definition of unbelief means to believe not, because they're surrounded by parallel phrases and letters. Would not enter in, believe not, would not enter in, unbelief. There's room for you to practice this yourself. Now we get to example 8. We're going to define the words straightway, forthwith, and anon. When I was growing up, we used to use anon a lot. The first step, we read the immediate context. Now we're reading Mark chapter 1. And the time is fulfilled, and straightway, and immediately, and forthwith, and anon, and immediately. It's working down through the first chapter of Mark. And so step 2, we underline the matching words, and the time is fulfilled, and straightway, and immediately, and forthwith, and anon, and immediately. Step 3, find the parallelisms. Now I'm taking a few liberties here because after all you have got the principle by now. So we see Mark 1:15 and the time is fulfilled. Mark 1:18 and 20 and straightway. Mark 1:28 and immediately. Mark 1:29 and forthwith. Mark 1:30 and anon. Mark 1:31 and immediately. And so by using the parallel phrase or word in this case and, we're able to arrive at the definition. The definition for these unusual words like straightway, forthwith, anon is given as immediately. So immediately is the definition given for these words by parallelism in the King James Bible built-in dictionary. So you can see that we've had to look a little bit deeper, and we find the meanings to our words. Once you get used to this, it becomes almost second nature, and it becomes easy to implement and easy to do. Example 9. Here we are at example 9. We're going to define the word provocation as it is used in the King James Bible. Starting again with step 1. We have to read the immediate context. Now, our word provocation is found in Psalms 95 verses 8 to 9. Harden not your heart, as in the provocation, as in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work. Moving to step 2, we're going to underline the matching words and letters. First of all, around our mystery word, and then where else we find them within the verses, so that we'll end up with our umbrella phrase, or our pegs will be clearly seen. Alright, we see in the. Now, once again, we're working on parts of a word or sounds within the word. Provocation, ation. So we can see that A-T-I-O-N. And also looking down, we find in the. So we mark that. Day of temptation, ation. A-T-I-O-N, underline that or colour that. And we also see two more around some words here. Tempted me, proved me. There's a repeat there that we might, well, you can see as you read it, can't you? Tempted me, proved me. So E-D-M-E, mark that, and E-D-M-E, mark that. So we get as in the provocation, with the in the ation marked, as in the day of temptation, in the ation marked, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, ed me, mark those. Now those are the repetitions within those couple of verses. So step 3 is to find the definition. Well, the definition, as in the provocation, in the day of temptation, when your fathers tempted me, proved me. So our umbrella remarks sort of stand out, don't they? The pattern stands out, and we can see in step 3 where we're at. We can see the pegs marked, as in the provocation, as in the provocation, as in the day of temptation. We got rhyme. When your fathers tempted me, proved me. See the match? So we can come to our definition now. Provocation and proved mean temptation and tempted. So temptation and tempted go with provocation and proved. So the parallel verses in Hebrews can clearly be seen. Hebrews 3:8 in the Asian, Hebrews 3:8 in the Asian, standing for provocation and temptation. Hebrews 3:9 ed me, Hebrews 3:9 ed me, standing for tempted and proved. There we have our definition of provocation and proved, if you like. Both are alternate words for tempted and temptation, or temptation and tempted. It is also interesting to note that the parallel verse in Hebrews that we're looking at has the same verse numbers as in Psalms. These things are not done accidentally or as a coincidence, you know. There are just heaps and heaps of design within all this. Now we come to example 10. We're going to define 70 as used in the King James Bible. Step 1, we've got to read the immediate context again. Remember, we're going to look for the repetition of surrounding words in nearby verses, or surrounding sounds or parts of words in nearby verses. If these provide no repeated pegs, they're going to extend the search to the paragraph mark. If your Bible has paragraph marks in it, some King James publishers put them in, or failing that, the entire chapter. If this provides us with no repeated pegs, we're going to broaden the search to include several nearby chapters. We're going to search diligently, aren't we? We're going to look for all the repeated words. The passage is Judges 9 verse 2 and verse 56. Speak, I pray you, in the ears of all the men of Shushem, whether it is better for you either that all the sons of Jerubbaal, which are 70 persons, reign over you, or that one reign over you. Remember also that I am your bone and your flesh. Verse 56. Thus God rendered the wickedness of Abimelech, which he did unto his father, in slaying his 70 brethren. Here we have the passages we're going to look for, repeats, colour them or underline them. Step 2, we're underlining the matching words. Which are 70, which he did unto his father in slaying his 70 brethren. So we have which here, which. We've got which are 70 persons, which he did to his father in slaying his 70 brethren. We locate the parallelism. The word which is the peg. Find the word or words which sit in a parallel position, physically or grammatically, to the word which, because that's our repeat word. Which are 70 persons, which he did unto his father in slaying his 70 brethren. The parallel concepts persons and brethren. Now they're not identical words, but they do serve as pegs. So the definition that pops out here and comes to our notice is that 70 means 70. Judges 9:2, which persons 70, which brethren 70. So we are able to arrive at a definition for 70. It means 70. Alright, it's time for a break. Let's get your workbooks out and enjoy this time of working together.